Hey everybody, and welcome to NFL Nexus. Today, we are taking a deep dive into the Indianapolis Colts' really fascinating offseason strategy. You know, they're looking to build a legit playoff contender, but they're not doing it with those flashy, headline-grabbing contracts. Nope, they're trying to prove you can win with smart, targeted spending. So, let's break down exactly how they're pulling this off.
And hey, before we really get into the nitty-gritty, if this is the kind of detailed breakdown you enjoy, do us a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. Give this explainer a like, and definitely let us know what you think about the Colts moves down in the comments. It really helps the channel out a ton.
Also, a quick shout-out. A super easy way to support what we do here at NFL Nexus is by checking out our coloring books. Seriously, they're perfect for fans of all ages, whether it's for you, your kids, your grandkids. The link for those is right down in the description. We really appreciate all your support.
So that really brings us to the core question of this whole thing, right? How do you actually build a team that can make some noise in January without just completely mortgaging your future on these massive nine-figure deals? Well, the Colts think they have the answer, and it's a strategy that is as disciplined as it is, well, pretty darn effective.
You know, the foundation of their whole approach is actually simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Take care of your own guys first. The Colts have poured most of their available cap space into re-signing their key in-house players. It's only after that foundation is totally secure that they even look at the open market. And when they do, they're not hunting for superstars, they're looking for specific, value-driven veterans to fill in the cracks.
And this brings us to their core concept, which is called raising the team's floor. Think of it as the complete opposite of star chasing. Instead of dropping, say, $20 million on one big-name player, the Colts will take that money and sign several reliable, proven veterans. The goal here is to eliminate your weak spots and make sure the drop-off from your starter to your backup is as small as possible. You're building a dependable 53-man roster so that one or two injuries don't completely blow up your entire season.
And get this, the four veterans we're about to talk about, they cost a combined total of just $5.7 million. Let that sink in. In today's NFL, that is less than what many teams pay for a single, average starter. The Colts added 4 experienced players for the price of 1. I mean, that is just incredible value.
So let's meet the new guys, and we're going to start with linebacker Akeem Davis-Gaither. The Colts walked into the offseason with a pretty massive hole at the linebacker position, and Davis-Gaither is the first piece of that puzzle that they've brought in to try and solve it.
Now, if we look at his contract, it's a one-year deal for $2.7 million, but the number you really want to pay attention to is that $1.5 million guaranteed. That's over half the total value, and that's the team's way of signaling that they see him in a real defined role, not just as some guy they're bringing in to try out for camp. They are confident he's going to contribute.
And, well, you can see why they're so confident. The guy is coming off a legitimate breakout season in 2025 with the Cardinals, where he put up a career-high 117 total tackles. So this isn't a player who's on the decline. He is on the way up. But listen, the most important detail on this whole slide is that connection to the Colts defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo, who was on the staff that drafted him back in Cincinnati. That pre-existing familiarity with the system is just invaluable. And oh, by the way, he's a proven contributor on special teams too, which just adds even more value.
All right, next up, we've got cornerback Cam Taylor-Britt. And if you're starting to sense a theme here, you are absolutely right. This is yet another player with direct ties to defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo.
And his contract is just a perfect example of this whole strategy. It's a one-year, veteran minimum deal for $1.4 million. The risk for Indianapolis here is basically zero. They are getting an experienced, starting-caliber cornerback for the absolute league minimum. It's a classic high-upside, low-risk move that fits their philosophy to a T. And please, don't let that veteran minimum contract fool you. This is not just some camp body. Over his 4 seasons with the Bengals, Taylor-Britt has been a legit playmaker. Just look at these numbers. 7 interceptions, 38 passes defended, 2 forced fumbles. The guy has a nose for the football. Now, he's not being brought in to be the number 1 guy. The Colts have Sauce Gardner and Mooney Ward for that, but as a rotational piece, he brings a proven ability to create turnovers. That's huge. And so, once again, the strategy here is crystal clear. Taylor-Britt was drafted and developed under Lou Anarumo. The coordinator knows his strengths, he knows his weaknesses, which means this isn't a guess. It is a calculated move to add a player who can hit the ground running because he already speaks the language of the defense.
Okay, let's flip over to the offensive side of the ball and meet the third bargain signing, wide receiver Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. Now, the Colts made a massive move trading away Michael Pittman Jr., and that left a pretty significant hole in their receiving core, especially in one very specific area.
And again, just look at the value they're getting. The contract is identical to Cam Taylor-Britt's. 1 year, $1.4 million, with a tiny cap hit of $1.2 million. They are getting a potential starting number 3 wide receiver for a price that is basically pocket change on the salary cap. The guaranteed money is less than $500,000, so it is yet another signing that provides depth and competition with virtually zero financial risk.
Now, is he a number 1 receiver? No, but he directly replaces Pittman's role as that big-bodied red zone threat. And while 2025 was a bit of a down year for him, just look back to 2024. He caught 9 touchdowns. The Colts are basically betting that for just $1.4 million, he can rediscover that nose for the end zone and become a key target for them inside the 20.
The final signing of this group isn't actually a new face, but a returning one, cornerback Cameron Mitchell. After bringing in Cam Taylor-Britt, the Colts decided, you know what, we're not done adding depth to what is quickly becoming a very crowded and very talented cornerback room.
Now look at the guaranteed money here. Just $25,000, that's it. This is what you call a classic prove-it deal. The Colts are essentially telling him, look, we'll give you a chance to make the team, but you have to come in here and earn your spot in August. It's a move designed purely to create and maximize competition. He played in 8 games for the team last season, and you know what? He showed some real flashes. He logged 18 tackles and 4 passes defended in pretty limited action. Bringing back a former 5th-round pick who already knows the system in the building, well, that just adds another layer of really solid depth. I mean, on paper, this secondary is starting to look elite. The big challenge is just going to be keeping everyone healthy, and Mitchell provides some really valuable insurance for that.
So the Colts have added 4 solid, low-cost veterans to raise the team's floor. Everything's fixed, problem solved, right? Well, not exactly. Despite all these moves, there is one major, glaring question mark that is still looming over this entire roster.
That's because even after signing Akeem Davis-Gaither, the linebacker position remains the team's single most significant area of need. They added one piece, sure, but after trading away the reliable starter Zaire Franklin, that depth chart is looking dangerously thin.
And this depth chart right here shows you the problem perfectly. You've got the newcomer Davis-Gaither sitting there at the top, but after him, it is a collection of unproven players and guys who are primarily special teamers. These are not the names you want as your primary backups, and it just highlights the urgent need for more veteran talent in that room.
So where do the Colts turn? Do they look to the draft, maybe another outside free agent? Well, the argument from the source material is that the perfect solution, the final piece to this whole puzzle, might already be in the building, and his name is Jermaine Pratt.
Pratt's recent career path has been, well, a total whirlwind. He was drafted by Cincinnati way back in 2019, played 6 seasons there under Lou Anarumo before being released. He had a very brief stop in Las Vegas, and then the Colts signed him on October 8th, reuniting him with the coordinator who knows him best. And that reunion, it paid off immediately.
To really understand his potential impact, you just have to look at his production under Anarumo back in Cincinnati. In 96 games, he was an absolute tackling machine, racking up over 600 tackles. But he wasn't just some run stuffer. He added 32 tackles for loss, forced 7 fumbles, and had 7 interceptions. I mean, these are the stats of a complete 3-down linebacker who can play the run, rush the passer, and hold his own in coverage.
And speaking of coverage, just look at this number, 90.1. That was his PFF coverage grade back in 2022, which ranked him first, number 1, among all 84 eligible linebackers in the entire league. That shows you he has an elite number 1 in the league ceiling in coverage, and he did it inside Anarumo's very own scheme.
His transition to the Colts midseason was just seamless. He played in 12 games and immediately became a rock for that defense. He put up 101 tackles, 8 pass breakups, and he made one of the most crucial plays of the entire season with a key interception against the Jaguars. He didn't just fill a spot, he elevated the entire defense from the second he got there.
And that interception against the Jaguars was just a perfect example of his impact. You know, that wasn't some garbage time pick. That was a game-changing play in the end zone against a division rival. That is the kind of energy and playmaking he brought to this defense. Which brings us to the core argument of this whole thing. After trading away Zaire Franklin, the most logical, the most capable, and the most seamless replacement is Jermaine Pratt. He's not a superstar, but he is a proven, capable starter who already has an intimate understanding of the defense and a track record of high-level production with his coaching staff. The answer to their biggest problem is sitting right there in front of them. So, that's the board. The Colts have masterfully raised the floor of their roster with 4 incredibly cheap veteran signings. But the biggest move of all might be the one they haven't made yet. And this all leads to one final critical decision for that front office.
And that's the question we're left with. When you really consider everything, his seamless fit in the defense, his proven production under Lou Anarumo, and the fact that he would probably be a very affordable re-signing, it seems like a complete no-brainer. So, will the Colts follow their own philosophy of smart, value-driven moves and keep Jermaine Pratt in Indianapolis?
So I've got to know what you all think. Is re-signing Pratt the obvious move here, or should they maybe look to the draft to fill that linebacker spot? Drop your take in the comments section below. And hey, if you made it this far, please do us a favor and hit that subscribe button to join the NFL Nexus community for more breakdowns just like this one.
And one last time, thank you so much for your support. You can grab one of our coloring books using the link down in the description or by just scanning the QR code right there on your screen now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.